This meeting or program is being held remotely as an alternate means of public access to library programs and services. You are hereby advised that no portion of this program may be recorded without the permission of the Hingham Public Library. Hi there, and welcome to the Hingham Public Library's very first virtual baking show for kids. My name is Debbie, and I'm here to help you make fun and easy desserts at home. Our first class was a few weeks ago, and we made magic s'mores bars, and the very best thing about it for me was getting pictures of all of you making our treats. I'm going to share those right now. Okay, this week we are going to make something really fun and really easy, and it's perfect for August because you don't even have to turn on the oven. It is also simple so that you are more likely to be able to do this without your parents' help, which is always extra fun. We are making no-bake Oreo pudding cake where you pick your own flavors. For this recipe, you will need one 14.3 ounce package of Oreos, 1 stick of salted butter, 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, a half cup powdered sugar divided 1/4 cup plus another 1/4 cup, 2 boxes of instant pudding mix, 3.4 ounces each, 3 cups of milk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Optional ingredients include your choice of fruit and chocolate. Keys to success. Make sure you are using instant pudding and not cook and serve pudding. It will tell you on the box. Make sure your cream cheese has been sitting at room temperature for several hours. If it is not completely softened before you mix it, you will end up with lumps that are nearly impossible to remove. Use a glass or metal bowl for making your whipped cream topping. To speed up the mixing time, put your bowl along with the beaters from your mixer in the freezer for at least 15 or 20 minutes before whipping the cream. The very first thing, like always, that you want to do is make sure you've washed your hands. I've already done that, but if you haven't, pause the video and run and do that right now. Whatever flavor Oreos you've decided to use, take your bag of Oreos and separate out 6 cookies. So I'm using vanilla Oreos, and so I'm taking the 6 cookies out, and with the rest of the cookies, you're gonna wanna either put them in a food processor or put them into a Ziploc bag and crush them. This is gonna be our crust, so you wanna make sure they're completely crushed all the way. So this is what we've got here. And the next thing you're gonna wanna do is take your stick of butter, and you're going to wanna put it into a bowl that is big enough to also hold the crumbs in a minute, and you're gonna wanna melt that butter in the microwave. It should only take about 30 seconds, but watch it, and if it isn't done at 30 seconds, check like every 10 seconds until it's melted. Now, as soon as you've got your melted butter, you're gonna add your crumbs to the melted butter. All right. And you're gonna mix it all up. I'm so excited to hear about all the different flavors that everybody's going to use this week. I've decided to use the golden Oreos and butterscotch pudding, but there's so many different options you could use. You could do chocolate pudding with chocolate Oreos. You could do pistachio pudding with vanilla Oreos. The last time I made this, I did chocolate Oreos and vanilla pudding. You can do any combination that you want. That's why this is so fun. You get to make it your own. All right, once you've got your butter completely mixed in with your crumbs, you're gonna take it and you're going to pat it into the bottom of a 9x13 pan. And this is when it's extra important that your hands are clean because you are going to be using your fingers for this part. All right. So you just want to press it evenly as you can into the bottom of the pan. Doesn't have to be perfect, but make sure that you don't have any empty spots. Okay, and when you're done, and you've got it pressed right into the bottom of the pan, what you can do with this, while we're making everything else, is you can put this in the refrigerator. And that'll kind of like harden the crust a little bit. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna take our softened cream cheese and we are gonna put it into a large bowl. All right, so just plop your whole 8-ounce container of cream cheese into a bowl. Okay. Assuming that your cream cheese was nice and soft, this isn't going to take very long. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to take one of your 2 1/4 cup containers of powdered sugar and you want to put one of them in with the cream cheese. And you're going to save this cup because you're going to need it in a minute. Okay, if you have any of the powdered sugar stuck to the sides, you want to scrape the sides with a spatula just to make sure it all gets mixed together really good. All right. Okay, our cream cheese mixture is ready. So now what you're going to do is you're going to just take your spatula and just get about a 1/4 cup, which is exactly how much powdered sugar we put in, and you're going to fill it up with this mixture and set it aside. We are going to be using that for our whipped cream layer, so just set that aside. Okay. Now to our remaining cream cheese mixture, we're going to add, let's get some of these out of the way. We are going to add our 2 boxes of pudding mix. Like I said, I decided to use butterscotch pudding, but there are so many flavors, you just pick your favorite. So we've got 1 container of pudding mix. And 2 containers of pudding mix. All right. We are also going to add 1 of our 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and I put 2 teaspoons in here, so I'm just going to pull out about half of it so that our 2nd teaspoon is still in the container. And we're going to put in our 3 cups of milk. Okay, now we are going to mix this up really well, and be careful because there's milk in here. You have to start the mixer on low or it's going to spray everywhere. I'm going to turn this off for a minute, but Just so you know, as you mix this, it's going to become thicker and thicker. So you have to be patient and wait for it to thicken. So I'm going to keep mixing. Okay, let's give the sides one more scrape just to make sure everything's mixed together well. So as you can see, it's thickening up. See, it's not liquidy anymore. It's kind of more like pudding, like it should be. And that is what's so amazing about instant pudding. You get pudding quickly. All right, so I'm gonna give this one more quick mix now that I've scraped the sides, and then we'll be done. Okay, now you're going to want to get your crust out of the refrigerator because we're going to pour the pudding mixture on top of the crust. All right, let's get this in here. All right, so scrape it all out and smooth it across so that it's even. All right, so as you can see, now we have our crust layer and we have our pudding layer. So now is where it gets fun. You get to pick if you want to do a fruit layer. You can do a fruit layer in between this layer and the whipped cream mixture, or you can just wait and put fruit on top. Because I decided to add bananas, I'm actually going to put them on first because I think that they'll be better if they're not on top, because then they hopefully won't get as brown. So I'm going to peel a banana here. Okay, so I'm going to cut this banana up. All right, actually I have two and I think I'm going to need both. So I'm going to open up the second banana and I'm going to slice this one up too. And then we're going to put them on top of the pudding. All right, let's just spread them out. And again, if you want to just get straight to the whipped cream mixture, you don't even have to do a fruit layer in here. I just decided that bananas would be nice to put inside rather than on top. All right, so here we go. I'm going to, again, set this back in the refrigerator while we make our whipped cream layer. Okay, our last part of this dessert is our whipped cream layer. What you're gonna wanna do is, in a medium bowl, you're gonna wanna mix 2 cups of heavy or whipping cream. And this you want to be cold until you use it because it will make it easier to whip. So you put the whipping cream into the bowl. you add your 2nd teaspoon of vanilla extract, your other 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and the 1/4 cup of reserved cream cheese mixture that we had from earlier, which I think I need another little spatula. Okay, so we're gonna put all this together. And we're gonna mix it again with our hand mixer. And you want to be careful not to over whip cream, so I'm going to show you what it's going to look like when it's done. So you're going to start out on low so it doesn't spray. And then increase it slowly just so you know that you're not getting to a place where it's going to splatter. And it's going to take a little while, but be patient. Show you guys it's getting there, but we're still not there yet. Can you see? It's still liquidy, but look, it's definitely getting thicker, but we want to keep going. Okay, I think we're getting really close now. Can you see the difference? You definitely should have cream that will stick to your spatula, okay? I'm gonna give it like 30 more seconds and then I think we're good. Okay, as you can see, our cream is now whipped and it is in no way slippy or slidey or liquidy, and that's what you want before you add it on top of your pudding. So you can get your pudding back out of the refrigerator and then we will put the whipped cream on top. Okay, I'm going to take all the whipped cream and put it on top of our pudding mixture. And just like all the other mixtures, we are going to spread it around to cover the pudding. Doesn't this look good? So pretty. All right. All right, so now we've got our whipped cream layer. And now is when you're going to take those 6 cookies that you set aside and we're gonna put them in a Ziploc and we're gonna crush them. I'm just using a knife because that's what I have, but you can use your rolling pin or your meat mallet or whatever it is that you used the first time around. These don't have to be crushed up quite as fine. It's okay to have a little texture for the topping. All right. All right, so once you've got them chopped, you're gonna sprinkle them over the top of your dessert. Whoops, just got some on my finger. I need a paper towel. Okay, so now we've got our reserved Oreos crumbled on top. And the very last thing I'm gonna add, because I think it tastes so good with butterscotch, is some Heath bits. Just a few. You could add some chocolate chips at this point, or you could add some fruit on top if you didn't put fruit in the middle. For example, I think that raspberries would probably be better on top than inside. But you can do it whatever way you want. That's what's so cool about this recipe. You can do it your own way. All right. Now for the hard part. You're going to have to put this into the refrigerator for about 4 hours or until it's completely set and chilled. Our Oreo pudding cake has been in the refrigerator for 4 hours, and now we can finally taste it. The first piece is always the hardest to cut, but my son couldn't wait to taste it, and so he has helped me out by already taking a piece. So it is not going to be nearly as hard to get our piece of cake out. At least it shouldn't be. All right, let's taste. Yum, it's really good. Okay, I wanted to come in for a close-up just so you can see all the layers. We have at the bottom, we've got our Oreo layer. On top of that, we've got our pudding, then our bananas, then our whipped cream, and then on top, we've got our crushed Oreos and my Heath bar bits that I added. I wasn't sure about the bananas, but now I'm really glad I put them in. They're delicious. Now all of you have an assignment. I would like you to send me pictures of what you've made. I want to know what kind of Oreos you used. I want to know what kind of pudding you used and what you put on top, if you used fruit. Send pictures. I would love to get them. You can also anytime email me if you have any baking questions or you're looking for a recipe. I love helping people with baking questions. My email address is dvasil@ocln.org. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.